Hello everyone. In the previous videos, we studied about the quantitative methods of credit control policy of the central bank. Now in this video, I am going to start with the qualitative methods or qualitative instruments of the credit policy of the central bank. Now the motive of these methods is to influence the quality of credit. Therefore, these are known as the qualitative methods. On the other hand, in quantitative methods, we studied about the overall money supply or the quantity of money in a particular economy. Now, in the qualitative methods, we will study about how the quality of credit can be influenced with the use of these qualitative methods. Mainly, there are three main qualitative methods, but I have divided it into four. And the main methods are margin requirement, rationing of credit, direct action, and moral suasion. So, the first one is margin requirement. It refers to the limit which is deducted from the value of security provided by the borrower to the lender before granting them loans. Now what this means is that जब भी हम कमर्शियल बैंक्स के पास लोन लेने जाते हैं तो उसके लिए हमें उनको एक सिक्योरिटी प्रोवाइड करनी पड़ती है, बट जितना हमें लोन मिलता है कमर्शियल बैंक से दैट इज़ लेस देन द वैल्यू ऑफ द सिक्योरिटी, विच मीन्स जो मार्जिन रिक्वायरमेंट है वो एक लिमिट है जो वैल्यू ऑफ सिक्योरिटी में से डिडक्ट करी जाती है, माइनस करी जाती है, and the rest of the amount is provided to the borrower. Or you can also define it as it refers to the difference between current value of the security offered for loan as collateral and value of loan granted. That is जो हमने security provide करी है commercial banks को उसकी जो current value होगी उसमें से हमने क्या माइनस करना है, दैट इज़ द वैल्यू ऑफ लोन ग्रांटेड. जब हम इन दोनों की वैल्यू को डिडक्ट करेंगे या फिर इनका डिफरेंस कैलकुलेट करेंगे, व्हाट वी विल गेट इज़ द मार्जिन रिक्वायरमेंट विच इज़ ऑल्सो सेट बाय द रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया इन केस ऑफ इंडिया. नाउ लेट्स टेक एन एग्जाम्पल विच विल मेक इट मोर क्लियर टू यू. लाइक इफ़ मार्जिन रिक्वायरमेंट इज 20%, मतलब जो मार्जिन रिक्वायरमेंट उन्होंने सेट करा है कि इतना मार्जिन कमर्शियल बैंक्स को रखना है वो 20% है, then borrowers can get only up to 80% of loan of the value of security that the borrower has provided. इसका मतलब कि अगर मार्जिन 20% रखा गया तो बाकी जो 80% वैल्यू है सिक्योरिटी की सिर्फ वो एज अ लोन मिलेगी टू द borrowers. Now let's take an amount. Like I went to the commercial bank with the security of, let's say, 2 lakh. I gave them a security of 2 lakh because I needed a loan of this amount. But what the commercial bank will do, they will keep the margin of 20%. That is 20% of 2 lakh, it will be equal to 40,000. अब ये जो 40,000 की अमाउंट है, what is that? This is the margin requirement of the commercial bank, and the loan which will be granted to me will be only, that is the difference between the value of security and the margin, that is equal to 1,60,000. So the value of the loan over here will be 1,60,000. From this you might be clear with the definition, which is it refers to the difference between current value of the security offered for loan as collateral. What is the current value of security over here? It is rupees 2 lakh and the value of the loan granted. और लोन कितना ग्रांट करा गया, दैट इज़ 1,60,000 एंड द डिफरेंस बिटवीन द टू इज़ इक्वल टू 40,000 विच इज़ द मार्जिन. सो आई होप दिस इज़ क्लियर टू यू. नाउ what happens in case of inflation and deflation, how it is used, how this instrument is used to correct the situation of inflation and deflation. Now you can see over here, in case of inflation the margin requirement is increased. Obviously when the margin requirement will increase, the demand for credit will decrease because जो हमें पहले amount मिल रही थी as a loan, that will decrease because of the increase in the margin requirement of the commercial banks. Then what will further happen is the fall in the money supply by the commercial banks or fall in the money supply in an economy, and with that the inflation will be controlled. This is how the margin requirement works in case of inflation. Now on the other hand, in case of deflation, the margin requirement will be decreased so that the demand for credit also increases, which will further lead to increase in the money supply and deflation will be controlled. Now let's take an example. Like suppose the margin requirement earlier was 20%. So in case of inflation, it will be increased, let's say from 20 to 25%. Clear? So if earlier the amount of margin was kept as 40,000, now with the increase in margin requirement from 20% to 25%, अगर हम 2 लाख का 20% करें, that comes out to be 40,000. That is पहले जो कमर्शियल बैंक्स को मार्जिन रखना होता है दैट इज़ 40,000. बट अगर वही सेम अमाउंट ऑफ सिक्योरिटी दैट इज़ ऑफ ₹2 लाख, अगर मार्जिन रिक्वायरमेंट इंक्रीज कर दी जाए फ्रॉम 20% टू 25%, तो यहाँ पे उनको 2 लाख का कितना मार्जिन रखना पड़ेगा, दैट इज़ 50,000. विच मीन्स विद द इंक्रीज इन द मार्जिन रिक्वायरमेंट पहले लोन कितना मिलता था टू द बोरोअर्स, दैट इज़ 1,60,000 इफ़ दे प्रोवाइड द सिक्योरिटी ऑफ 2 लाख. बट अब सेम सिक्योरिटी पे उनको कितना लोन मिलेगा, दैट इज़ 1,50,000. विच मीन्स इसकी वजह से जो डिमांड होगी क्रेडिट की वो डिक्रीज हो जाएगी, बिकॉज कमर्शियल बैंक्स विल कीप मोर मार्जिन विद देमसेल्व्स and which will further lead to decrease in money supply and inflation will be controlled. And similarly there will be the opposite situation in case of the deflation. 20% से maybe 15% हो जाए margin requirement, so that will lead to the decrease in money supply in an economy. So this was all about the first qualitative instrument, that is the margin requirement. The second qualitative instrument is rationing of credit. Now what this means is that fixation of credit quotas for different business activities, particularly for speculative activities in the economy. Now what is done in this instrument is that particular quotas are set for different business activities. Like basically rationing of credit is introduced when the flow of credit is to be checked in the economy, mainly for speculative activities. Like for example, if we say that there are various sectors like agricultural sector, or you can say automobile sector, pharmaceutical sector, these are some of the sectors, and what the Reserve Bank of India will see, they will see that which sector is performing better than the other, and on the basis of that they will fix the certain credit quotas कि इस particular sector को हमने इतने limit तक credit provide करना है या नहीं करना. This is all what is done in the rationing of credit. You will come to know about this from this inflation and deflation more clearly. So in case of inflation, what is done is introduction of credit rationing, which means that जब इन्फ्लेशन होगी इकोनॉमी में उस टाइम पे इस क्रेडिट रैशनिंग को इंट्रोड्यूस करा जाता है, पर्टिकुलर कोटा सेट करे जाता है कि इस लिमिट से ज़्यादा हमने इस सेक्टर को लोन प्रोवाइड नहीं करने. लेट्स से दैट कोटा हैज़ बीन सेट फॉर द रियल एस्टेट सेक्टर, कि जो रियल एस्टेट सेक्टर है उनको इस पर्टिकुलर अमाउंट से ज़्यादा लोन प्रोवाइड नहीं करे जाएंगे बाय द कमर्शियल बैंक्स, बिकॉज इट मे लीड टू इन्फ्लेशन इन एन इकोनॉमी. देयरफॉर इन्फ्लेशन के केस में क्रेडिट रैशनिंग को इंट्रोड्यूस करा जाएगा, जिससे क्या एक लिमिट सेट कर दी जाएगी कि ज़्यादा क्रेडिट प्रोवाइड ना करा जाए इकोनॉमी में टू द पर्टिकुलर सेक्टर्स. अब जब क्रेडिट रैशनिंग को इंक्रीज करा जाएगा इकोनॉमी में, दैट विल लीड टू डिक्रीज इन मनी सप्लाई एंड फर्दर द इन्फ्लेशन विल बी कंट्रोल्ड. नाउ इफ वी टॉक अबाउट द डिफ्लेशन, एज वी नो इन केस ऑफ डिफ्लेशन वी हैव टू इंक्रीज द मनी सप्लाई, बिकॉज ऑफ विच वी नीड टू विदड्रॉ द क्रेडिट रैशनिंग. दैट इज़ जो हमने पहले लिमिट सेट करी थी, जो कोटा सेट करे थे, उसको अब हमें विदड्रॉ करना पड़ेगा, सो दैट anyone in an economy, that is any business sector who wants the credit in an economy may easily get that. Therefore इस credit rationing को withdraw करा जाता है in case of deflation, so that there might be increase in money supply and the deflation may be controlled. So this is how the rationing of credit works in case of inflation and deflation. The third qualitative instrument over here is direct action. Basically it is the part of moral suasion only. But direct action means that the central bank may initiate direct action in the form of fines and penalties against the member banks in case they do not comply with its directives. अब before that I would like to introduce to you the moral suasion. After that you will come to know about what is direct action. Now here comes the next qualitative instrument, that is moral suasion. Now what it means is, by this measure central bank renders an advice to the commercial banks and is often empowered to issue directives to member banks. अब इस केस में क्या होता है, जो सेंट्रल बैंक होते हैं वो एडवाइस करते हैं कमर्शियल बैंक्स को कि आपने किस तरह से लोन्स प्रोवाइड करने हैं, किस तरह से क्रेडिट प्रोवाइड करना है टू डिफरेंट सेक्टर्स ऑफ एन इकोनॉमी. दे बेसिकली इशू सर्टन डायरेक्टिव्स में इंक्लूड सर्टन key points or the directions in which the commercial banks need to move in their credit policy. तो इसलिए सेंट्रल बैंक जो है वो काइंड ऑफ एक एडवाइस देती है इन मॉरल सुएशन टू द commercial banks in the form of issuing directives, and this direct order may be in the form of directional control or selective credit control. Now what do we mean by this directional control or selective credit control? Now it basically refers to the discriminatory policy of the central bank related to selected sectors of the economy. अब सेंट्रल बैंक क्या करती है, दे हैव डिवाइडेड द वेरियस सेक्टर्स इनटू प्रायोरिटी सेक्टर्स एंड नॉन प्रायोरिटी sectors. According to the requirement, they will advise the commercial banks to either provide the credit to the priority sectors or to the non-priority sectors. Now in case जो central bank है उन्होंने कहा commercial banks को कि आप जो credit है वो particular sectors को provide करो so that production जो है इन sectors की वो increase हो जाए. Let's say agricultural sector. What they will say is, the central bank will advise the commercial bank to provide more loans to the agricultural sector so that their production might be encouraged with the help of that credit. So this is known as the positive application of selective credit control. बट ऑन द अदर हैंड अगर सेंट्रल बैंक ने डिसाइड करा दैट कि जो अवेलेबिलिटी ऑफ क्रेडिट है उसको रिस्ट्रिक्ट करा जाए, मतलब उसको कम करा जाए, उसको कंट्रोल करा जाए फॉर द वेरियस पर्टिकुलर नॉन प्रायोरिटी सेक्टर्स, सो व्हाट इज दैट इज द नेगेटिव एप्लीकेशन ऑफ सिलेक्टिव क्रेडिट कंट्रोल, विच मीन्स कि वेरियस सिलेक्टेड सेक्टर्स को उनके रिलेटेड कुछ पॉलिसी बनाई जाती है बाय द सेंट्रल बैंक to the commercial bank that to which sectors they have to provide the loan and to which sectors they need not provide the loan in certain situation of an economy. And moral suasion is also a combination of persuasion and pressure. Now what is persuasion? Persuasion में क्या होता है, it is just like किसी को influence करना, किसी को डायरेक्ट करना टू फॉलो सर्टेन प्रिंसिपल्स. बट इफ कमर्शियल बैंक्स इस परसुएशन से नहीं मानेंगे, व्हाट द सेंट्रल बैंक हैज़ टू डू, दे नीड टू प्रेशराइज द कमर्शियल बैंक्स दैट दे हैव टू फॉलो देयर डायरेक्टिव्स विच हैव बीन सेट बाय देम फॉर द सिलेक्टिव क्रेडिट कंट्रोल्स. बट स्टिल if pressurization does not work with the कमर्शियल बैंक्स, दैट इज अगर कमर्शियल बैंक्स फिर भी नहीं मान रहे सेंट्रल बैंक की, देन व्हाट द सेंट्रल बैंक हैज़ टू डू इज द डायरेक्ट एक्शन. नाउ दिस इज द डायरेक्ट एक्शन इंस्ट्रूमेंट in which the central bank may initiate direct action in the form of fines and penalties. That is, अगर वो प्रेशराइज करके भी कमर्शियल बैंक्स नहीं मान रहे सेंट्रल बैंक के डायरेक्टिव्स, then what the central bank will do is they will impose various fines or penalties against the member banks in case they do not comply with its directives. अगर वो उनके directives को follow नहीं करेंगे, they will be charged with the fines and penalties by the central bank. And central bank may even recognize the various commercial banks in case they are not complying with their policy. So this was all about the direct action. Now what kind of policy is followed in case of inflation and deflation? Now in case of inflation, under the moral suasion, the central banks will advise the commercial banks to restrict the loans, that is, to decrease the credit or the supply of credit in the economy, and in case of deflation they must be liberal in lending, which means that they have to freely provide the loans as required by the various sectors in an economy. So this was all about your qualitative instruments of credit control policy of the central bank, in which we studied about the quantitative as well as the qualitative instruments. And this is very much important concept from the viewpoint of your final examinations, because mostly in each and every CBSE board exam of class 12th, the questions related to these instruments is asked in your paper. Therefore, go through these videos very much thoroughly. And one more thing I would like to tell is that the instruments which we studied under the quantitative methods, the rates according to that is the bank rate, repo rate, reverse rate, they keep on changing according to the situation in an economy, like in case of inflation or deflation. So you must go through the recent rates which are going through in our market, or which have been set by the central bank for the commercial banks. From that you might come to know more clearly that how these instruments work. So this was all about our today's video and the chapter banking. I hope that all of you are clear with all the concepts. Thank you so much.